Hey, so today we're going to talk about Notch delta signaling in cell development. So some terms and background info. Notch is a transmembrane receptor. Delta is a transligand that works with Notch. Num inhibits the function of Notch. And this is the sensory organ in the Drosophila. And so we start off with the sensory organ precursor, which divides into two cells, 2A and 2B, and the cell ends up having almost all the num, which remember inhibits the function of Notch. It has all the num because it's asymmetrically localized when it's splitting. And so that happens again, so the neuron ends up having almost all the num again. So what does that really mean for us? So since num inhibits the function of Notch, when Notch and delta bind, when delta binds to Notch, it triggers the Notch cleavage by extracellular protease. Notch is cleaved again right here, and then it buddies up with its nuclear partners, binds to the DNA, and then the activation of gene expression happens. Sorry about that. So the genes that are being expressed are the Notch and delta genes. So this causes the upregulation of Notch and the downregulation of delta. So shown here, we have two cells that have equal amount of Notch and delta starting off. This cell has a high concentration of num. What does that mean? So num inhibits the function of Notch. So this causes a downregulation of Notch, which causes the upregulation of delta. So this sends a signal to the other cell to upregulate Notch and thus downregulate delta. Then this keeps going in a feedback loop, which just further upregulates Notch in this cell and downregulates Notch in this cell. Downregulates delta, upregulates delta. So this will cause this cell to have a big Notch expression and the cell to have a lot of delta expression. So what does that really mean for us? So this cell has a lot of num, and the cell does not. And then, so that means the high Notch cells become the sheath cells, and then the high delta cells can become the neurons. So this pretty much shows like how much like Notch and delta can affect gene expression.